The Static Broadcast is brought to you by the Hester Law Group. If you're looking for an attorney that has 12 years of proven success, look no further than the Hester Group to represent you. If you've been involved in an accident, you need to file a workman's comp claim, or have a criminal issue that requires representation, contact the Hester Group today at 314-652-4321. But remember, the choice of an attorney is an important one and shouldn't be based solely upon advertisement. The Static Broadcast is also brought to you by the St. Louis Wing Company, an award-winning restaurant. You make sure you visit them at stlwingco.com today. And now it's time for today's episode of the Static Broadcast podcast. Happy Monday. Of course, you are joining us on the Static Podcast for a Monday, and I hope you had a great holiday weekend. Of course, we just got over Easter, the first spring holiday, and I'm joined by a very special guest today. I told you I have St. Louis music artist Mvstermind. I can't call you a rapper. I can't exactly call you a singer.
It's like that, huh?
You're everything.
Cool.
And you're just an all-around cool guy. You got the piece on.
Oh, yeah, you got to represent.
Yeah, I love it.
Symbols in the building.
So what does yours represent? I know each of them have like different energy components.
Well, this is one of those pieces that Brother L was like, my man, like, I'm going to make sure I get you one of these gallery pieces.
Okay.
One of these special pieces that, like, we just spend hours and hours of just putting love, meditation, and thought behind in itself. Like, whenever I do hold these pieces, man, like, I swear, I don't know, I really feel, I feel protected, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the more you learn about the stones and the powers of crystals, I mean, it's crystals in a cell phone, it's crystals in a laptop.
Right.
You realize that these things hold life, they hold memory, they hold, you know,
energy. Yeah.
No, straight up. So it's, man, I remember I took one to New York, and it was, and I held it, like, just walking in the middle of Times Square, and that mode was just pulsating.
Really?
Like, that was the first time I was just like, what?
That's crazy.
Just getting a chance to, yeah.
That's a beautiful piece you have there.
Yes,
so,
thank you.
Mvstermind, of course, you've had like national recognition now for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And most recently, NPR named you one of 2019's ones to watch. That's an amazing feat. And I will say this. I grew up on NPR. I was one of those backseat kids. My father used to listen to it. I mean, it's been around since 1972. I won't tell my age, but it's been around as long as me. So, I mean, it's something that, did you ever grow up listening to it? Did you even know what NPR was?
That's spot on. Yeah, no, like my parents, they would turn on 90.7, and I would just always just be listening to different conversations. It may be like world news. They may start talking about like crickets in the wintertime. You know what I mean? Like,
and at first as a kid you hate it, for real.
Yeah, it's a lot of talking, man. And then, you know,
then you grow to love it.
And you grow to love it.
Yeah, and you look forward to those in-depth conversations. So congratulations on that. I think that's super cool. Well, we're going to get into a lot today because you've got a lot going on, but I got to get into the Late Lunch Quickie trivia game. And on this game, I'll ask you questions that I feel you should know.
Woo!
All right, I'm giving you 3 questions. There'll be multiple choice answers. And since you're a new dad, I'm going to test your knowledge about other famous fathers.
Okay.
I don't know how well you keep up with popular culture.
We're going to see.
We're going to see. Well, you get 2 out of 3 right, and we will bestow upon a lucky listener a gift from the Static Podcast. Ooh. All right, so check it out. Number 1, this famous music father has 6 kids, but only 5 biological. He skydived out of an airplane for his birthday last year. Was it Will Smith, Diddy, or Jay-Z?
Dang, that's crazy. I'm trying to imagine Jay-Z skydiving, so I'm going to X that out. I'm going to go with Will.
Although Will did skydive out of an airplane for his birthday, he is not the one
He
with
doesn't have
the
6
6 kids. Nope, he doesn't.
I was wondering if he was like a few that extra that
No. Will Smith has 3. That was Diddy.
All right. So these questions are real.
These questions are real. All right. This music dad brought Maxwell out during a tour stop in St. Louis to surprise his mom for Mother's Day. Was it Chance the Rapper, Lupe Fiasco, or BJ the Chicago Kid?
This was Chance the Rapper.
Yes, it was.
That's right.
Correct. What's the coolest thing you ever did for your mom for Mother's Day?
Man, I made her this really cool book as a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what was it about?
It was like those books from school where like you can like create your own book. Mm-hmm. So I was able to like draw it and stuff.
Oh,
like
she still has it to this day.
Yeah.
Of course she does. That's really sweet. All right, you know what? This famous dad has made a living out of talking about his kids in his comedy and considers himself a comedic rock star.
Oh, sorry.
You know the answer?
I don't know. I don't want to mess up.
Is it Marlon Wayans,
Oh, gosh.
Kevin Hart, or Mike Epps?
It's all 3. Wait. There's no separating
He considers himself a comedic rock star. Marlon Wayans, Kevin Hart, or Mike Epps?
Dang it. I'm going to go with Kevin Hart.
Correct! He's the only one selling out stadiums right now. I mean,
the only one.
Yeah, he's the only one. He is a comedic rock star, for sure. Private jets, the whole
facts.
9. That's facts.
That's
facts. Well, congratulations to a lucky listener. You, in fact, have won, courtesy of Mastermind. He got it all correct today. We got to get an applause button over there, Chris. I need to, just everybody raging. All right.
What they win? Well, my bad.
I'm gonna get some merch eventually.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm working on it. It's a startup. It's a startup company.
Well, matter of fact, I'm gonna add to it.
Are you? You do have some really cool things.
I do. I got some.
Yeah, I know. I want one. The Mastermind logo is really dope.
Thank you.
I love it. Who did it?
I conceptualized it.
Really?
My people at Mascot Agency have been taking care of my merchandise.
I love it.
My merchandise is pressed here in St. Louis.
I love it. Of course, we have merch right behind me.
You feel?
Yeah.
That's how we move.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, in St. Louis, we have a lot of things. So if you're just now tuning in, you are listening to the Staci Podcast, and I have my guest, Mastermind, musical artist who has been nationally recognized and has a lot going on. So I spoke with you earlier, and I was asking you about your musical influences, and you said Lupe Fiasco.
Yeah.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Man, honestly, I think that is a name that we should be hearing more when it comes to artists and their influences. Well, especially coming from my age group.
Right. I don't even know how old you are. You're younger than your sister.
I am older.
Are you?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
Everyone thinks that.
Oh, right. Not because, she looks older or any of that, but okay, I didn't know. I was wondering where you felt. How many of you is it?
It's 4.
Okay.
It's 4 daughters, and I'm the only
You're
son.
the only son.
I'm the only son.
So how does that, okay, we'll get into that later. So, where do you fall in line? You're in the middle?
I'm the second youngest.
The second youngest.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have all these older sisters.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious. Do you think that had like an influence over your music at all?
Probably so.
Yeah.
To be honest, though, growing up with a lot of sisters, you don't really hear me say nothing too crazy about women.
Yeah.
I have a particular level of respect.
And they'll probably give it to you.
Probably would. You know what I'm saying? Probably would.
They will probably give it to you. I love it. So I didn't know that because I met your parents, and when I went to your house to pick up my daughter, because your sister Fatima and my daughter Asha, they knew each other in high school, and I was just first of all, they're both beautiful. Your mother and father, and the two of you that I've met, I'm like, y'all look just like, and they look alike to me, and then y'all all look like them. So it's super cute, like the whole family. So you grew up a Muslim, and I was trying to figure, I was like, are they Rasta? Do you get that?
Man, I used to get that so much as a kid, so much to where like as a kid I started to like get annoyed.
Oh, really?
And like I'm only stating that because I hate the fact that I got annoyed when like. I grew up in Rasta culture though, like okay. Like, my pops was in reggae bands.
Okay,
I was in a reggae band, but like for some reason, when I started to grow up, I kept getting that, so I like
You would be
almost
angry.
disassociating
Right.
myself. Like, I'm not a Rasta, like I'm me. You know what I mean? But
Right.
like, man, the Rasta culture is like so amazing.
Right, because I actually
So
heard
amazing.
you reference Haile Selassie in a song, and I was like, well, and then I read it, and I was like, oh, okay, no, they're Muslim. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, do you think that had an influence on the music as well? I'm sure it did.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Naturally, the groove and
Yeah.
like when I first had fell in love with reggae, I ended up like doing percussions in the band. I was probably like 4 or 5. But
Wow, okay.
I was just doing percussions. Hopefully, I was killing it. I don't know. I mean,
You have
Great job.
You have no idea. So, you've been on the St. Louis music scene now for how many years? You've been doing your thing locally?
Let's add it up. Man, to be for real, I would say active, probably since 09.
Okay.
That's
a minute.
Yeah. No,
That's
it
10 years.
definitely is.
So that's where do you think you fall in line in the hierarchy? You think you're pretty?
No, man.
'Cause, I mean, you've been out here for about, like, I kept hearing your name, and I did not. And then my daughter told me, she said, well, you know, that's Fatima's brother. I was like, I had no idea. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
keep up.
Man, I don't know. I really don't think too much about the hierarchy for real.
Okay.
I mean, I do got my own shoe line out here in these streets.
You
know
really-
what I'm saying?
Catch up is what he said. He said catch up. He said catch up.
But like, man, I am in a constant battle with myself. Like, I can almost give a care less about other things.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Like, I have a certain level of I have a particular goal of where I'm aiming at. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I got amphitheaters to sell out. You know what I'm saying? I got the Verizon Wireless amphitheater to sell out. I got particular.
You have goals.
And those are just like the biggest focus. I'm not really like trying to be in a particular race with anybody. But what I do like though is that like I do enjoy competition.
Okay.
And I like competition with my peers.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
when my homie Najee play a beat, I'd be like, oh my God, bro, this dude is nuts.
Yeah.
And I go back home and I'm like, I gotta make a better beat.
Right, okay.
I like the steel sharpens steel.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't ever want to get caught up in mediocrity of just like, you know, nah.
So are there other people locally here, like you just named him, so that inspire you and make you want to get better? Do you surround yourself with people like that? I guess that's important.
I do. It's strategic. And to be honest, I feel like that's the only way to grow to get to that level.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
So you've had moments of giving up, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So how did you? I'd like to ask all of my guests, like, how did you activate your inner fly to get to the next level? If you can recall a time where it was just like, all right, I'm about to, I don't know, just make beats and not be a performer. When did you say, I got to get in front of the beats and sell it?
Man, for me, it has been an interesting journey. So like when I first started off as a producer, so I didn't really I didn't have the confidence, honestly, to voice who I was.
Right.
And I would see all these other different artists or artists who I work with, and you know, they'll channel their pain, they'll channel stuff they're going through, they'll speak and represent for other people, and I began to see that, and that's what really inspired me because I was shy. I was shy. I was in my shell, and when I made beats, that was like the closest that I got to speaking out loud, but I wasn't really speaking.
Right.
So I slowly but surely fell in love with just expressing myself. It was very therapeutic, very therapeutic. Things that were on my mind, things that was on my mental, frustrations. My music is just like my emotions writing itself.
Right.
And so like the more I began to express, I couldn't turn away from being a vocal artist.
Nice.
Because it's like music is the universal language. So especially when you're like penning language into it, there's a lot of influence that you can do. As we can see, sometimes we can see how that can wreak havoc on things and people that we love. And so in my head, it's like, man, let me see what I can do strategically to have some kind of impact, man. Because life is real.
Life is
flat.
real.
Yeah.
Speaking of mastermind, so I wanted to know, do you remember like one of your first rounds? Because you know I'm gonna ask you to spit some. You can't cut.
I'm gonna try. I really need to. Come on, Mo.
Think about it. It's, just relax, take a deep breath. No pressure. If you remember something that comes out to the top of the head, like, yo, I remember how I was feeling right here.
Dang. It's so funny, man. Like when I always try to go back and like my catalog of lyrics.
Sometimes you can,
so scrambled.
But the music will help you. It'll jog your memory if you hear
the music. Jogging. I was about to beat on the table.
Do whatever you need to do.
Man,
we'll come back to that. Sometimes that's. You're like, I can't think of any of my songs right now. What is going on?
You want to make music?
So we talked about being a father. How old is do you have a daughter? Do you have a son?
I have a son.
I love it. All right, you better speak on that. Okay, so what's the baby's name? How old?
His name is Baby Moon. Well, his name is Moon.
Moon, I saw that.
Moon.
Yeah.
And he is 3 months and 6 days.
I love that age. Great age.
Yeah.
What do you love about being a dad?
Oh, man. I feel like the demand it brings for me to be a better version of myself on so many different levels. Better version of learning how to execute time, a better version of facilitating my happiness, a better version of canceling out my unneeded frustrations. I don't know. It's just definitely rounding and sharpening me up because there isn't too much room for that. And beforehand, I would be like, man, I'm so busy. I got so much stuff going on.
We all got stuff going on.
And it's just like that because, I mean, I obviously thought I was operating at 100% for some very, very, very silly reason. And, when you put into a baby in the picture and it's like, you got to make sure the diaper clean. You got to make sure he's healthy. You got to make sure he's smiling. You got to make sure you're still smiling.
Exactly.
You got to make sure the food's on the table. You got to make, it's like, learn how to fold the time and you can't complain about it. No. And it's in the midst of that, removing all the extra complaints, I've just been happy.
Yeah, look at that. I think that's great advice. Everything you just said is wonderful advice to a new father, especially a young father, especially a young father of color.
Yeah.
Like, I think that a lot of times, like you said, we just get frustrated with a lot of things and we don't really prioritize the things that are most important. It's just like that's a responsibility that ain't going away. Whether you wish it away or not, it's not going away. And you might as well accept it and move forward. And that's the best way to do it. So congratulations to you and Baby Moon's mom.
Yes,
I think that's wonderful.
No, thank you.
Young folks out here doing it. So you did touch on the Dr. Scholl's shoe collaboration. So Dr. Scholl's is a local company. That's right. For those who don't know, we have so many, Caleres. They have, a lot of shoes under their belt. So how did this collaboration even? I wish you would have brought the shoes up.
What?
How did this collaboration even? But you have some on.
I do have some.
On. How did the collaboration come about?
Yeah. So I was practicing for Lou Fest. Shout out to the old Rock House. They opened up the doors for us. But
nice.
I was in the parking lot and I was on my way walking in, and I picked up my phone. And at that point in time, I was debating on whether I was gonna answer this unmarked number. I'm like, who is this? Who is this calling? Anywho, I answered it, and it was like, yo, peace. This is. We want to talk to you about a partnership with Dr. Scholl's.
Right.
And, man, that was major. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Major on so many different levels because that honestly, that was one of the first times that, a big corporation like that called me. In its same sentence as a rapper, that was the first time a big corporation called me. And I was trying to figure out, how exactly was Dr. Scholl's going to tie into my narrative. You know what I mean? Like, just, it's like, okay, are we going to jump with our first hunch? Right.
You got to be careful about what brands you're allowing yourself with, especially a new artist and somebody
especially a new artist. You know what I'm saying? My music's positive. I ain't trying to make them put me in a box like, oh, this dude, And it's but I began to chop it up with their team. I began to see the love that they have for my brand. I began to see the actual actions that they had within the community. I began to see different things where I was like, hey, you know what? This is actually this partnership makes sense.
Right.
I continuously control the narrative of it, and but anyway, I was actually moving kind of slow with that process. I think I was still in the phase of deciding how I wanted to move,
right?
And I was like, I'm gonna just focus on being a better business partner.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna focus on learning how to reciprocate my brand and show them the true value that I do provide. So I wrote my own self goal. I was like, man, I used to design shoes when I was a kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So this was really a natural.
This was the thing.
Right.
So I wrote in my I wrote in my project management platform that I use, but I wrote 2020, get your own shoe deal with Dr. Scholl's. I mean, it's 2019. Things have moved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was like, we went into the office and they kept on talking about Kanye West. And I was like, hey.
I'm not him.
I used to design shoes when I was a kid, though. And so, like, kind of just jumped right into it. And we started the design in September.
Oh, when did they launch?
They launched in February.
Oh, nice.
It was quick.
It was. I see. They were serious.
Quick. They were so serious, man. And I got a chance to see. This was the first time I got a chance to see a process like that, to where, like, I saw it go from my mind to inspirations that I saw, like this prayer rug. Honestly, that's one of the colorways.
Really?
Yeah, for real.
It was a prayer rug.
Yeah, and I turned it into that. But it was like I saw different inspirations I put into the designer helped me put it all together. We saw it go from the drawing stage to they showed me the first prototype. I was kind of scared when I saw it. I was like, oh no.
Right.
Just because I mean that's it goes through stages. Just like as a producer, it goes through stages. So this was the first time that I was being produced for. I'm typically on the other end being like, oh, what's your idea?
Right.
I'll draw it up. I'll create it. You know what I mean?
And you were like, somebody is listening to your inspiration and they actually putting it together. So the first draft of it, did you like absolutely hate it? Or were you like, I was thinking this
scared,
color.
Man. I was scared. I was scared.
Yeah.
I mean, just being an artist, I was like, wait, like, is this going to look like this? Is that going to be that color? Is this the brown? Is this the laces? You know what I mean?
Right. Everything goes into, and it had to but it had to be something you want to wear.
Yeah.
And something you can get behind wanting to sell too. Because that's important. Because the last thing you want is have a creation that you don't stand behind. It's like, I'm embarrassed.
Imagine if Mastermind had a shoe from Dr. Scholl's and y'all was like, what are those? What is that, man? That's trash. I'd be hurt, dog. I'd be really hurt. So that was on my mind. But as it progressed and grew, the vision came and it was executed.
My only issue is that they don't really come in women's sizes.
That's a big issue. That's a big issue. We're working on it. We got a petition going on right now.
Yeah, I'm signing it because I was like, where are my shoes?
No, for real. I purposely made them to be unisex. That was the goal. So right now we're just after we sell out of these pairs, and we re-up and make sure all of our ladies get supplied as well.
I love them. They're very colorful. They look like they're comfortable and breathable, most importantly.
Yes.
So where can we purchase these amazing shoes?
Yeah. So for one, you can cop them at drshows.com naturally.
Nice.
For two, you can cop them at zappos.com. Shout out to Zappos because they flew us out to Vegas and we did a launch party out there.
Nice.
Concert on their campus, and they really treated me like the hard work and the hard work that I've put in all these years. Like I got treated like the artist who I really am.
That's amazing.
I was really appreciative. You can also cop these on Kohl's.com, fam.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice distribution you got there.
Oh yeah.
So how is it? Has it been overwhelming, some of the response that you've been getting? Like, have you been like, whoa, what? I'm in Vegas performing on Zappos, like what? Really? I'm out here like this? Like,
I would say it's a mixture.
Okay. Like I'm supposed to be here.
No. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been clocked in. We've been doing the work.
Right.
I am supposed to be here, but wow, does it feel beautiful and surreal that I made it here?
Right. So is that the power of manifestation?
It is. That's exactly what it is. Exactly what it is.
I love it. So is this something that you've been practicing your whole life? What else? You said you started creating music at 12 or even younger than that?
Well, I started like making beats
at 12.
At 12. But I would find something to make beats on. Like there's old Casio keyboards or anything. I would just, I feel like I always had a knack for rhythms and patterns, whether that was like music or patterns and other things. I just like things that repeat. I don't know.
Is there any music that Mastermind listens to that people might be surprised?
Oh man, I listen to Alice Coltrane and I listen to Pharoah Sanders. Some very transcendental jazz.
Oh, is that what that is?
Oh man, it's so phenomenal. It's so spiritually enriching. I love it.
And you actually describe your music as something different, like futuristic. What did I see it?
Man,
the description you give your own music, because when I listened, I didn't know exactly what to expect. Obviously, you don't sound like when you think about St. Louis music scene, you definitely think of the sing-songy thing because of Nelly.
Yeah, he's a sing-songy.
Yeah, I mean, it's
But
definitely
no.
like, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's a melodic thing. But then I was like, no, this is like a vibe. Like,
Yeah.
very vibey, your music.
Yeah. For one, I've always loved the melodic elements, and even when I first started rapping, I was like, man, like I like to rap, like just straight bars. But I was like, my goal is that I want to have straight bars and all melodic rap, like straight bars and the vibe. Like that was
Right.
always my goal. My goal, probably subconsciously, it came from the fact that like my city, that's our undertone. In
Yeah,
like all of our
yeah.
music, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I like that about us.
Me too. Me too. Because I mean, technically, this is an actual musical city.
Yes.
So if you're a rapper and you're rapping with melodic undertones and stuff like that, odds are your family was probably playing some of the coldest vinyl, the coldest different musicians to get you musically inclined. So I don't know. It means you probably come from a tight heritage, just
Yeah.
because. Yeah.
The upbringing, I love it. So, Mastermind, you've got. I was complimenting you because just so you know, full disclosure, this is our second time speaking today, and earlier I was talking about how the visuals for your projects are really, really dope. So we have a couple of your music videos that we're going to take a look at now, and you can just set them up and tell me exactly what we're watching.
Yeah. Okay. Bam, we outside of the pageant, y'all. It's funny. I was going to narrate this. No, man, but this is a recap off of this show that Red Bull hit me up to do. I was performing with J.E. I was performing with E40. As you saw, it was Chingy. It was a lot of St. Louis legends in the building. And to be honest, I was blessed to have my own platform as one of the highlight ones. You know what I mean?
Nice.
I had my own set, long set.
Nice, I see it.
I'm only speaking those things because it felt really good to go from like 6 people in a venue to now we at the pageant.
Yeah.
But that was not in 6 days.
Yeah. Will you tell people, man?
That
Tell
was
them.
not at all. Shout out my guy shooting out photo. He did that edit, but yeah.
Nice. So Red Bull reached out to you. You've been getting a lot of people reaching out to you. What is that's the power of manifestation.
Power of manifestation.
Are you one of those people that have like vision boards, or you just have like a vision
yeah.
board in your mind, or do you actually put it on something?
Man, I got a vision board in my room, and then right in front of it is a big old whiteboard with like goals and plans. I'm really trying to like learn how to master my mind. I'm really trying to learn how to like master me to really get to that next level. Like I'm aiming on legendary heights, man. I'm aiming on like some really serious monumental things that I aim for myself, and
Nice.
I'm just trying to like mentally train myself to learn how to do it. So I got my vision boards, I got my whiteboard, trying to get my schedule out, trying to get like, okay, this is my routine.
Nice.
I wake up, I get gratitude. I now check my calendars. I now check my bank. I now
Got to.
go in the right order.
Right.
Because being self-employed, sometimes you could be like, oh man, I'm self-employed. I can do whatever I want.
Nope. You work harder.
You got to work harder and smarter,
Yep, that's where I am now.
or you just get stuck in a muddle.
Speaking of Mastermind, who
Yeah.
is one of NPR's artists to watch in 2019. So Mastermind, you have a different spelling. You leave the A out and you replace it with a V. And
It's
I've
like
seen
an
that.
upside down A. It's like,
Okay, I was just about to ask, like, what's the significance of it?
yeah, man. The V stands. No, I'm playing. But pretty much, it's like, for me, when I first did it, it was Google searching purposes and just branding.
Okay.
When you type in Mastermind in Google with the A, nothing pops up. You type in Muhammad Mastermind in Google with the A's, and half terrorism looking stuff pop up.
Wow.
You type in Mastermind with a V, I am the only thing that pops up. I now
Nice.
I carved my own place into the internet. I carved my own spot. So
Very
the
smart.
more I just racked everything up there. And I mean, even for me, like, I was going through some growing pains, and at one point in time I didn't like my name. And when I flipped the A upside down, I was like, it looks cooler. and so like those were the two reasons.
That's why. Okay, I was wondering if it was like a more, but that is amazing that
Yeah.
you learned that just replacing that A with a V just changed the whole game for you.
No, definitely.
For branding
definitely
purposes.
did.
Keep that in mind. And is that some advice that you would give to up and coming artists, like to really carve out a niche for yourself?
Definitely. When you have a name that is this goes for anyone or a business. When you have a name that is when you have a name that is the same as other people and other businesses, your web competition diminishes. Because one, you have to outbeat all 12, 15,000 of these different people, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you can have something that is unique and carve your own space onto the internet, you've technically owned that space, especially if you're one of the first. Then that other person has to come and defeat your platform. You know what I mean? So it's like, just carve your own space.
Got it. Mastermind, thank you so much for stopping
over?
by the Static Podcast. No, because we're still talking about your music. You haven't rapped for me, you haven't sang for me, you haven't done anything, but we do have some more of your images, some more of your video.
This is fresh off a tour right here. We was heading back from Denver.
There we go. We got the music.
And we were headed to the Mardi Gras. And Red Bull hit me up, and it was like, yo, fam, we got this Mardi Gras situation downtown. 2,000, 3,000 people at the Bud Light tent. Will you be able to make it back from your tour in time to do this show? I was like, yes. Literally, we had like 35 minutes to hop off this flight and to go hop on stage. And it was kind of funny because I think my guy, he had left his like book bag and his keys. And so
oh my goodness,
we had to go grab it, but we pulled it off in time. I'm in the car doing show copies.
What?
Like, it gets real. It gets really real. But as you can see,
it worked out.
Pulled off. Oh yeah. That's what we do. I definitely had like no sleep. I was off for like 1 hour of sleep, and we had an hour-long set. But that's what you do, man. And I trained myself for this weekend, and I would say that because I'm excited and it's discipline, and it's like I'm in Vegas, I'm in Denver, and I didn't participate in anything.
He meant that, boy. He
Not
was so frustrated. Not a thing.
Just because it was like I'm gonna be pushing it, man. I'm gonna really be pushing it. I'm really pushing it, and if I do one extra thing wrong, if my voice gets messed up, yada 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 yada, then either money is squandered or I look silly, and it was just like
protect the brand first.
Facts.
Always. That's why I didn't drink yesterday. I was like, I have to be up early. I got to do television. I got to do a podcast. I have to have all my faculties on Monday morning. So I better not enjoy Easter with my family too much. And everybody was like, my mother was like, you don't want any wine? I don't want no wine, mama.
What's wrong with you?
I mean, that's exactly. I'm like, I got to work tomorrow. I hadn't worked in like 5 months. So everybody's like, you have to work. So it's difficult. But yeah, no, you already talked about your, earlier we talked about your family support and how you've had such a strong foundation to support you in your movement. And I think that's cool. And everybody in the family does something different.
Yeah, man. Everybody's really out here in their own field. And for me, it's really fresh to watch because like I even look at some of my family members like they was bored with it or something. Like people out here racking it up.
Right.
It's just fun. I'm like, man, you already had this. But I'm like, wait, no. Like, people, I've watched loved ones. I watched folks get married and thug it out, sleeping on couches. Now they close to almost making some meals.
Right. That's
nice.
What
I'm saying? And it's very beautiful to watch because I'm just seeing some really tight, dope black people grinding it out. And at one point in time, all they had was love. And now look where they at.
They got everything.
It's tight to see.
That's that manifestation. I love that. I love that. That's like something that you speak on. And I thank you so much for sharing your story with me. Continued success because it has been awesome to watch. And I'm glad that I had an opportunity to meet you and sit down and talk to you. And like I see where you've come from because you grew up in the hood, man.
Yeah, straight up.
Straight up, because I was like, "Dang, all right, y'all, okay, y'all keeping it black over." I love that, and that's what I mean, and that's really something to say about your parents. Like they had y'all like around in an area where some people be trying to move away from.
Yeah,
and they moved to and raised beautiful, well-rounded children. I think that's really dope. Like they should do like a book. Maybe I should have them on the podcast. Man,
to be honest though, man, because I feel like that's a true testament.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, looking back, and I look back on their character, and I look back on decisions that they made, and I look back on the vision that they had, man, it was primarily architected. And at times, I'm sure that people was probably like, "What y'all doing?" Or like, right. I mean, I even recall my mom talking about like, you know, like when they bought that house and stuff like that. Like family members and other people was just like yo, like your son is gonna get lost out here into these streets.
Right.
He gonna get messed up. Like this is not.
And they were like, no, we're not.
No, I mean, they knew how to raise us right, and I'm so blessed to have grown up on the North. I get a chance to understand life, and I get a chance to understand this journey, and I get a chance to have a real reason of why I do this because. Either experienced a lot or my people experienced a lot. I don't know. I could really be coming from this from a weird outlook of a platform, and I just had it, and I was balling.
Right, like West County. Here I come from West County, and you like, nah, I'm from the North. Straight North. Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure. I've spent almost a whole day with you, I feel like, and I've gotten to know you. I'm a fan. Continue to send us those vibes. We not wrapping up, are we? We are wrapping up. you gonna give me something? You ready?
Well. What I did wanted to state that it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Aww. I mean, to be for real, grew up with hearing your lovely voice on the radio airwaves all the time. And it's just, I don't know, that's what's up.
Right, it's full circle.
I've always wanted my interview. Here he is. Manifestation.
I hear that. It's like people want to be interviewed by me. I'm like, me? I'm like, but I mean, I'll take it. You should. One of the best parts of being in radio as long as I was, and one of my favorite things was actually seeing new artists when they were on the cusp of something great. And that's always been, that's probably one of the only things I miss. But when I can continue to do that on this platform, it makes me happy. So I'm glad that we had an opportunity to speak because I know, and the fact that you know where you want to go and you've mapped it out and you see the vision, you can't go anywhere else but up. So keep doing your thing. I love it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining me. Y'all make sure you continue to check for Mastermind. He is everywhere. Where can they find you on social media? All of that.
Y'all can find me any and every single where. That's Mastermind with a V. You flip that A upside down and that's me. You flip the Arch upside down and that's me. Mastermind with a V though. You just type it in anywhere and just pull it up. Check out our Tiny Desk entry that we just put in.
Nice.
It's pretty fresh. It's really nice. Y'all should check that out. But Mastermind with a V, any and everywhere.
I love it.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Continued success. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Static Broadcast podcast. I keep saying broadcast. It is. Yeah. Oh, yes. Say it. You gonna rap for me?
I need to. What a beat at? We got a beat.
We ain't got no beat. You're going to have a beat in your head. Do we have any of his music in there? Keep it up.
That's
This your video?
Yeah.
Let's watch it.
Okay. Well, just make sure that when y'all head to the store today, you pick up a copy of the St. Louis magazine. Your boy is featured in there. I'm about to go get my copy, but shout out to the city though. It's they the reason the reason I'm up next for real. So shout out St. Louis.
Let's watch the video.
Keep the good in rotation, innovate the whole nation, trying to get it out the basement, tired of being all complacent. I've been living broke for too motherfucking long. Moon in his crib, so we need a new home. Trying to get along with these damn student loans, cause I can't even tell who been calling on my phone. Shit. Record label or a bill collector. Harvesting my fruits of labor, trying to steal my nectar. Voicemail, cut the credit, you can kill the lecture. Hey, yeah.
I love how you keep your lady friend with you, honey. Is that your wife? I'm sorry, because I see a ring.
That is my wife.
Yay.
Yes.
I love young married couples.
Nah, man. There is nothing better than that.
I love it. The support is right there. Yes. The inspiration is right there. The motivation is right there.
Facts.
Okay, I love it. So thank you once again to Mastermind for blessing us with his presence and his music.
Thank you.
And the Static Podcast is brought to you today by the Hester Law Group. If you're looking for an attorney that has a 12-year proven track record of success, look no further than the Hester Group to represent you. If you've been involved in an accident, need to file a workman's comp claim, or have a criminal issue that requires representation, contact the Hester Group today at 314-652-4321. And remember, the choice of an attorney is an important one and shouldn't be based solely upon advertisement. It's also brought to you by the St. Louis Wing Co. Make sure you visit them at stlwingco.com. Until tomorrow, I will holla. Thanks for tuning in.